Good morning and welcome to 365 Days of Amazing Stories with Theo Mayer. Here we are on day 299, and I'm continuing the story of Jullanar of the Sea from 1001 Arabian Nights. Now, you might remember that Badir had gone riding off the morning after he had heard about Jahara from his uncle Sayi. He had described her in such a way that Badir just fell in love with her, just from having heard about her. Her eyes, her beauty, her grace, all her attributes. And he'd ridden off feeling forlorn, that he had no idea how to find fulfillment for this love that he was now feeling in his heart. And he'd gone to a stream where there was a small waterfall and a beautiful pool where he and his uncle had often sat and talked about things. And here he was trying to find some solace from the feelings that were welling up inside of him. And he lamented out loud. Now, Sa'i had been given leave by Badir to go return home. But instead of doing that, he had followed Badir secretly and had hidden behind a tree near this pool. And when Badir started saying the things that he was saying, Sa'i wrung his hands and knew that there was no power save in God, the all-powerful, the magnificent. At this point, he came out from the tree and walked over to where Badir was sitting and said, "You heard yesterday what I was sharing with your mother, didn't you?" And Badir said, "Yes, I did, uncle. And when I heard you describe Jahara, I immediately fell in love with her. I do not know what to do. I don't feel like I can live without her. I must find some way, some way of winning her for my wife." Sa'i said, "This is all my doing. Since I have done this, I must just do my best to win her for you. We will go back to your mother and let her know that we will embark into the oceans to try to win Jahara from Al-Shamadal, the king. It's the only way. But we must first go let your mother know, for otherwise she will be grief-stricken, wondering what has happened to you." Well, Badir said, no, we cannot go back to my mother, because if we do, I know that she will not allow me to go. This will not happen. I'm going to go with you now. It's the only way. Well, Sa'i could see that there was just no use in trying to convince Badir of anything other than to go with him immediately. So he said, fine. There's no power, no glory, except in God the Almighty, the all-powerful, the magnificent. And he took a ring off of his finger that had inscribed on it certain characters from the time of Solomon. And he placed this on the finger of Badir. And he said, with this ring on your finger, you will be safe from all of the creatures of the ocean. At this, they rode their horses close to the sea. They dismounted. They sent them off toward home, and they dove into the ocean and made their way through the depths to the palace that Sa'i, Badir's uncle, and his undersea family lived in. When he got there, His grandmother was there, and he greeted her, of course, with love. And she greeted him with love as well, kissing him right in between the eyes on his forehead. She said, "What are you doing here? It's so nice to see you." And he said, "I am here because I am seeking the hand of Jahara in marriage." Her eyes opened wide when she heard this. She turned to Sa'i and she said, "Is this true? How can this be?" Sa'i said, I'm sorry, but yes, I spoke of Jahara when I was speaking with Jullanar, and Badir overheard us, has fallen in love with her. There's nothing to do now save try to win her hand in marriage. Well, when Badir's grandmother heard this, she got very angry with Sa'i. She said, "How can you have done this? You know how Shamadal is. He's a tyrant. So many have sought Jahara's hand in marriage. Kings, and none have won her. How do you expect at this point anything but that to happen?" Well, at that point in time, on the land, outside of Jullanar's windows, 2 hummingbirds came and began to fly in a dance of love with each other. And Jullanar knew that this was a sign of something brewing, some love affair blossoming or taking place. She did not know yet that Badir and Sa'i had gone to the watery kingdoms to win Jahara's hand in marriage, but she took it as an omen. Now, Sa'i was in the hot seat with his mother. What was he going to do? He told her, "I can only do one thing, and that is to try to win for Badir Jahara as a wife." Badir's grandmother said, "It is folly. He will laugh at you, and you will return both disappointed and embarrassed." "There is no power save in God the Almighty," was Sa'i's response. "I will prepare myself and go." And we'll stop the story here and see what possibly could happen next. Hopefully there'll be a happy ending to this one.